Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss one of the very interesting topics, concepts of Java, that is exception handling. So let's see what is there on our agenda today. We will start with what is exception, and then we'll see how to deal with it and what happens if the exception is not handled. Next will be why exception occurs in program and what is exception handler in Java, what are the advantages of exception handling, difference between an error and an exception, and lastly, we will see how try and catch blocks work in Java to handle exceptions. So before we begin with what is an exception, so let's see one of the programs and what will be the output of the program.
Let's see this program. Here we have array subjects consisting of 5 elements, that is maths, science, French, Sanskrit, English. And we have a for loop that iterates from 0 to 5. In the for loop, we have set the iteration condition as I less than or equals to subjects dot length. Thus, for the last iteration, the value of I is 5, which exceeds the array size. Hence, when printing array elements, the iteration I equals to 5 results in some exception, that is array index out of bounds exception. So you get a message, that is error message, that is system generated. And here we have another example of accessing the negative index. In this program, we declare an array of type integer and then access the elements using individual indices. The first expression is valid, but in the second expression, we have attempted to access the element at index -4. Hence, the second expression throws again an exception, that is array index out of bounds exception. So this is the output of this program. Here again you can see that it is the system generated error message. So these are some of the examples of exceptions.
Exception is something which is unwanted, unexpected thing that can happen during the execution of the program. So what is an exception? In general, an exception means a problem or an abnormal condition that stops a task from processing in a normal way.
Look at this example. In this picture, we can see that there is a girl watching a video on YouTube, and suddenly the internet connectivity is disconnected or it's not working. In this case, she's not able to continue watching the video on YouTube. This interruption is nothing but an exception. That means she is not able to continue watching the video on the internet, on the YouTube. And here is one more example. Suppose a person is traveling by car, say from Pune to Belgaum, and after traveling mid distance, the tire of his car is punctured. So he is not able to continue his journey. So, what has happened here? This is an unexpected or unwanted event. So, this unexpected or unwanted event is nothing but an exception.
So what is an exception in Java? An exception in Java is an abnormal condition or error that occurs at runtime execution and interrupts the normal execution flow of the program. That means program will stop abruptly and it will skip the rest of the code which is there in your program due to some problem. So that means there is an interruption. It is the result of an abnormal condition or something that went wrong over here. So here you can see that here we tried printing the number which is located at the 10th place, which is not stored. That means we have not allocated so many numbers in the array. So such examples show that an exception is an abnormal condition that occurs at runtime. So how to deal with such exceptions? If we want to continue the execution of remaining code in the program, we will have to handle the exception object thrown by the error condition and then display a user-friendly message for taking corrective actions. So this task is known as exception handling. That means we know that it has stopped, the program is stopped due to some problem. But here we would like to take care of that and we would like to give a user-friendly message getting displayed on the screen so that the user gets to know what was the problem because of which the program got stopped. Instead of getting errors like array index out of bounds exception or some generated error messages getting displayed over here, we would like to print something which is meaningful to the normal user. So what is to be done to handle that? So that is called as exception handling. So in this case, we can put this in a try block. So we shall discuss what is a try block, what is a catch block in a little while, and here we can solve that using the try and catch blocks. So that we can see in some time. So if we come to the real-time example that we have seen, the car owner always keeps an extra tire as an alternative on a long-distance journey. So this is an alternative that he has found. He changes the punctured tire by a new tire. So after changing the tire, he continues the rest of the journey. So this alternative way is called exception handling. So what has happened here is the car owner was traveling by his car. Maybe he was traveling from Pune to Belgaum, and we have seen that his car got punctured and he had to stop in between. So what is the alternative way over here? He has kept an extra tire so that he can replace that punctured tire by a new tire and then he can continue his journey. Right? So that is what is exception handling is. So what happens if the exception is not handled? The rest of the code in the program will not be executed. A system generated error message will be displayed like this. So by handling the occurrence of exception, we can provide a meaningful message to the user about the error rather than the system generated error message, which is not easy to understand for a user. If you take the real-time example only, if that extra tire was not kept in the car, then what he had to do? He had to he has to cut his journey in between. Then he had to look for the puncture repair shop and lot of other things. He had to wait and he may not reach the destination on time. Alright. So such situation was thought of and he had kept a new tire in his car so that he was able to handle the situation. If something goes wrong, if my car tire gets punctured, I should be able to replace that with a new tire. So he has kept that in his mind and he is prepared for that. That is what is exception handling. Here also in our example, what if the user tries to print a number from a location wherein there is no number stored? So what should happen? Instead of a system generated message getting printed, how to deal with that? What proper message can be displayed on the screen? So that is what is exception handling. What should be done if something goes wrong is handling the exception. So let's see why exception occurs in a program. So there can be many reasons that might generate an exception in a program. When we try to open a non-existing file, an exception occurs, and reading a file from a disk, but the file doesn't exist there, writing data to a disk, but the disk is full or that is unformatted, and then when the program asks for a user input and the user enters invalid data, when a user attempts to divide an integer value by 0, that is an exception, and when a data stream is in an invalid format. So these are some of the situations when we can accept an exception. So I told you that in a real-time example, when the tire got punctured, so what was the exception handling for that? A new tire, which was kept by the owner of the car in his car, so that if something goes wrong with the tire, he would be able to replace that with a new tire. So that was the exception handling. Then how it can be done in case of Java? What is an exception handler in case of Java? So the code that catches the exception thrown by JVM is called exception handler. So when the exception occurs, exception handling transfers the control of execution of the program to an appropriate exception handler. So here is an example over here. You can see that a boy is running, and in between he had to face this and he is not able to walk through that path. So he took an alternative path and he continued running. Right? So this is an alternate path. So that is what is exception handling over here. Otherwise, if he had no other alternate path that got selected, in that case, he had to stop his journey here itself. Right? Now, he has taken another path, alternate path, and he continued running, and this process is not interrupted over here. So, how this is done in case of Java? This is done by the try and catch blocks. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we will be using some of the keywords like try, catch, finally, throw, throws, these keywords, using which we can handle such kind of exceptions. So what are the advantages of exception handling? Exception handling ensures that the flow of the program doesn't break when an exception occurs. For example, if a program has a bunch of statements and an exception occurs midway after executing certain statements, then the statements after the exception will not execute and the program will terminate abruptly. So by handling, we make sure that all the statements execute and the flow of the program doesn't break. So this is the advantage of exception handling. Now you must be thinking, like, what is the difference between an error and an exception? Errors indicate that something severe enough has gone wrong and the application should crash rather than try to handle the error. Whereas exceptions are events that occurs in the code and the programmer can handle such conditions and take necessary corrective actions. So some of the examples could be null pointer exception, that is when you try to use a reference that points to null, and arithmetic exceptions when bad data is provided by the user. For example, when you try to divide a number by 0. This exception occurs because dividing a number by 0 is undefined. Then array index out of bounds exception, that is when you try to access the elements of an array out of its bounds. So here is an example, the one that we discussed in the beginning. So what are the different types of exceptions? There are two types of exceptions in Java, checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. All exceptions other than runtime exceptions are called checked exceptions because these are checked by compiler during compilation to see whether the programmer has handled them or not. If these exceptions are not handled, you will get compilation error. For example, IO exception or class not found exception, etc. You can call them as checked exceptions. Coming to unchecked exceptions, runtime exceptions are known as unchecked exceptions. These are not checked at compile time. For example, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, array index out of bounds exception. These are all unchecked exceptions. So the next is try catch in Java. So I just mentioned that exception handling in Java is taken care by some of the keywords like try, catch, those things.
Let's see what are these try and catch keywords. We have seen that when executing Java code, different errors can occur, such as coding errors made by the programmers, errors due to wrong input, and such things. When an error occurs, Java will normally stop and generate an error message. So the technical term for this is Java will throw an exception, that is, throw an error. So this is the default exception handler provided by the Java runtime system, and this is useful for debugging. But what if we wish to handle an exception ourselves? Handling exception by yourself provides two benefits. First, it allows you to fix the error, and it prevents the program from automatically terminating. So most users would be confused if your program stopped running and it prints some error messages which are normally not easy to understand whenever any error occurs. Fortunately, it is quite easy to prevent this. To guard against and handle a runtime error, simply enclose the code that you want to monitor inside a try block. For example, we have seen that if there is going to be a divide by 0 error that is expected, we can place that code in the try block. So the try block contains the code that is under a monitor. We have some kind of error that is expected, and we are going to place it over there. So immediately following the try block, we have to use a catch clause that specifies the exception type that we wish to catch. So to demonstrate this, how easily this can be done, so let's try a program that includes a try block and a catch clause that processes the arithmetic exception generated by division by zero error. So in this example, you can see that the try block has the statement which we are going to monitor, which we are monitoring for divide by zero error over here. And then in the catch block we have written message, that is division by 0. So we can just print some suitable messages over here, so that whenever such errors occur, the user should get a proper message on the screen and he should be able to understand why the program has stopped executing. So this program generates the output such as division by 0 and after catch statement. So notice that the call to println inside the try block is never executed. Once an exception is thrown, the program control transfers out of the try block into the catch block. So actually here catch is not called. So execution never returns to the try block from a catch. Thus the line "this will not be printed" is not displayed. Once the catch statement has executed, program control continues with the next line in the program, following the entire try-catch mechanism. Therefore, always the try statement allows you to define a block of code to be tested for errors while it is being executed. The catch statement allows you to define a block of code to be executed if an error occurs in the try block. So this is a handler over here. The try and catch keywords come in pairs. Let's consider another example. So here we have an array my numbers with elements 1, 2 and 3, and in the next statement we try to print my numbers of 10th index. That means we are trying to print the number or the element that is stored at index 10. So this will obviously generate an error because my numbers of 10 does not exist. So the output will be something like this: exception in thread main, array index out of bounds exception, and so on. So when such errors are expected, we can print a suitable message on the screen instead of system generated message getting displayed, because they are not so easily understandable. Here you can see that we have placed those two statements in a try block, and we have written a suitable catch statement, and we are printing something went wrong. So this time when we execute this program, the output will be something went wrong, because this is the message that we want to show to the user, so that the user will know what was the problem and why the program stopped abruptly. So let's see how the Java try catch block work. So here this flowchart will clearly show you the flow of execution. For example, if there is a data variable that is assigned with 10 divided by 0, here it is checked whether an object of exception class is thrown. So this is self-explanatory, you can easily make out what it means. The JVM firstly checks whether the exception is handled or not. If exception is not handled, JVM provides a default exception handler. So that performs the following task: prints out exception description, and then it prints the stack trace, that is hierarchy of methods where the exception occurred, and then causes the program to terminate. But if exception is handled by the application programmer, normal flow of the application is maintained, that is rest of the code is executed. So this is how try and catch blocks can be used to handle such errors, and user will get to know the reason for the program getting terminated, or he will get to understand what was the problem that has occurred in simple terms. So, this is all for today's lecture. We have discussed what is an exception. We have seen some of the real time examples of exceptions and how to handle these exceptions using try and catch blocks. So, in my next lecture, I'll be discussing the remaining keywords that are used in exception handling. We have few more keywords like finally, throw, and throws. So that's all for today's lecture. Keep practicing. Just go through all these programs and practice it in Eclipse IDE and check what output you are getting without using try and catch, and with using try and catch block you will definitely know the importance of exception handling. Thank you. Take care.